Welcome back to World Explorer Mind WEM, where we uncover the stories shaping our world today. From hidden histories to global game changers, you're watching World Explorer Mind WEM if you enjoyed this video. Please consider subscribing to join our community. I really appreciate you being here. If you want to see more content like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's get started. Guyanese folklore is an intricate tapestry woven from the many cultures that have shaped the country's history. These stories aren't just for entertainment. They are cautionary tales, moral lessons, and explanations for the mysteries of the world. Here are more detailed accounts of some of the most famous Guyanese ghost stories. The Old Higue, or Ole Higue. The Old Higue is arguably the most famous and feared creature in Guyanese folklore, and her story is a classic example of a vampire myth adapted to the Caribbean context. The legend. By day, she is a seemingly harmless, reclusive old woman living on the edge of a village. Her true nature reveals itself only at night. When darkness falls, she sheds her wrinkled skin, puts it in a calabash or a similar container, and transforms into a fiery orb. In this form, she flies through the night sky, a terrifying ball of light and sparks, in search of her prey. Her primary victims are babies and small children, whose blood she sucks from their throats or toes as they sleep. The babies' bodies turn blue and shrivel, and people know that an Old Higue has been at work. She can also drain the life force from adults. Warding her off, Guyanese people have developed several clever methods to protect themselves from an Old Higue. The most well-known is to place a heap of uncooked rice or a broom at the doorway. An Old Higue, driven by an obsessive compulsion, cannot pass without counting every single grain of rice or every single straw on the broom. This task keeps her busy until the sun rises, at which point she must return to her skin. If she fails to find her skin before dawn, she is doomed to die a painful, skinless death. Another method is to find her shed skin and put hot peppers or salt in it. When she tries to put it back on, she will be burned and revealed. The Baku is a tricky and unpredictable supernatural being, often compared to a genie or a leprechaun. The legend. A Baku is a mischievous, dwarf-like spirit said to be trapped in a corked bottle. If someone finds and releases the Baku, it becomes their servant. A Baku can grant its owner great wealth and wishes, but this comes with a heavy price. It requires a constant supply of milk and bananas. As long as it is well fed, the Baku is a benevolent, wish-granting creature. However, if its owner neglects to provide its daily rations, the Baku turns vengeful. It will cause havoc and misfortune, from throwing stones at the house to possessing its owner and causing them to waste away. Getting rid of a Baku. A Baku is difficult to get rid of. It binds itself to a family, and if the original owner dies, the spirit is inherited by the next family member. The only way to truly be free of a Baku is to lure it back into a bottle with its favorite foods. Then seal the bottle and throw it into the ocean or bury it. The Choorile, or Choorile. The Choorile is a figure of East Indian origin, brought to Guyana by indentured laborers. Her story is one of tragedy and vengeful sorrow. The legend. A Choorile is the ghost of a woman who died during childbirth or while pregnant. She is a tormented soul, eternally grieving the loss of her child. She is often seen wandering at night, dressed in white with long, disheveled hair, wailing mournfully. To human eyes, she can appear as a beautiful, alluring woman to lure young men to their demise. Her true nature, however, is revealed by her feet, which are turned backward. A Choorile preys on men, especially those who wronged her in life, but she also haunts pregnant women and newborns out of jealousy and grief. She is often blamed for miscarriages and infant deaths. Weaknesses. Chooriles are said to fear water and cannot cross a flowing river. This serves as a way for a person being chased to escape. Her backward feet also prevent her from moving quickly. She is also repelled by salt and other protective talismans. The Massacouramon. This creature is one of the more terrifying beasts of Guyanese folklore, a guardian of the deep rivers. The legend. The Massacouramon is a gigantic, hairy, man-like creature that inhabits the deep, murky rivers of Guyana. Its name is said to be derived from the words massa, meaning master, and Curabin, meaning tracker, possibly linked to stories of runaway slaves and their pursuers. The creature's primary purpose is to terrorize those who travel on the rivers in small boats. It is said to capsize vessels, especially those carrying a single person, and drag its victims to the bottom to drown. Stories of the Mesocoramon serve as a cautionary tale to keep people from venturing into dangerous river areas alone. The Dutchman Jumbee is a spectral figure tied directly to Guyana's colonial history and the brutal legacy of slavery. The legend. This is not a ghost of a slave, but of the cruel Dutch planters themselves. Legend says that the Dutch buried their vast treasures on their plantations, then murdered slaves and buried them alongside the treasure to serve as ghostly guardians. The Dutchman Jumbee, however, is the spirit of the wicked master, who still rides his horse at night, haunting his old plantations. He is often seen as a dark figure on a horse, and the clop-clop of the horse's hooves is a familiar sound of terror for those who live in rural areas. It is said that the Dutchman Jumbee will whip anyone he sees out late at night. Some believe that specific trees on old plantations are Dutchman trees, and that disturbing them brings a curse, as they are a gateway for the Dutchman Jumbee to cause harm. The moongazer is a simple but terrifying entity, an embodiment of a senseless, looming threat. The legend. This is an incredibly tall, gaunt figure that stands motionless at crossroads on moonlit nights. With its hands on its hips, it gazes blankly at the moon, its legs spread wide, straddling the road. The danger lies in trying to pass underneath it. Anyone who attempts to cross the road between its legs will be instantly crushed. It is said to be a silent and unblinking menace, and its only warning is a chilling, high-pitched whistle just before it crushes its victims. To survive an encounter with a moongazer, one must quietly and politely walk around its legs, never disturbing its trance-like gaze. Some stories say that if you alert it, it will suck your brain out through your palm. That's today's story. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join me for the next one more stories coming your way soon. Don't just watch history, be part of it. Subscribe and join the journey. Thanks for watching World Explorer Mind of UEM.